Hey, this is Nicholas Wilton at Art to Life, and today I wanted to just talk a little bit about the thinking we have when we're making our art, and the kind of negative thinking that can leak in, um, and how we can go that route, and how that affects the work, and a possible reroute, which can be a game changer for your work and everything, actually. When I was starting out and I was trying to do fine art and do more and more and more of it, it was really hard because there wasn't any money in it, and I felt like, compared to what I used to do, I was working for pennies on the dollar, and these ideas about not being compensated fairly, or I'm working hard, I'm working at night. I was doing fine art a lot at night when I was not doing my more commercial work that paid well. And when I was working, I was a lot of the time actually, I was thinking about these ideas instead of actually how it felt making the work. I mean, it was kind of a mix, but that really affected my output. And so some of these ideas, and we all have questions and we all have ideas, and we have good moods and bad moods and everything. But in particular, when you're making your work, that's what I'm talking about, when it really counts. And I've written down kind of 10, these are ones that I've had, and I've had conversations with other artist friends, like when it's almost like you're just indulging in these habits of negativity. I am not talented is a huge one. Like, you start thinking about that when you're making your work, it really affects it. She is better than me, comparing yourself to friends, or whoever it is you're following on Instagram or whatever, that someone's better than you. Like, it's just not, it's like, don't do that one. No one will buy this. Huge. Just not something you want in your brain at all when you're making art. I will be perfect. Forget about it. Like, you can't do that in art. You can't do it. You can kind of do it in a job where you're trying to impress someone if you work really, really, really hard, and it's fake anyway, but you certainly can't do it in art because you fall down all the time. So setting yourself up for that it's just anxious anxiety creating. I have no time. If you find yourself saying this all the time, you really are not being present in the work, and actually your art making is a time when you have time. It can stop time. It's actually the antidote to not having time, because you become present and you're no longer worrying about where you're supposed to be or where you should have been. You're just in the moment when you're doing it right. So if I have no time and I'm trying to do this thing, it's incongruous. I'm too old to learn, right? I'm a slow learner. I'm really good at this. Like, that's horrible. Like, it's neither, it's like, that's just not part of it. You're setting yourself up, because once you feel like you're really good at something, you have to uphold some kind of standard, and you're comparing yourself to something out there. It has nothing to do with that. My art is amazing. The same thing, it's like, we do need to be feeling excited and everything, but it's like, it's not always amazing. It's actually kind of crappy a lot of times. They said my art was really good. I got in the gallery. They said my art was bad. I didn't get in the show. All this stuff isn't part of art making. It doesn't serve. Now, on the other hand, how you want to feel and what you can kind of focus on is being curious, is being playful. Like, this is how we want to feel. Like, these words, spacious, this is what you get. This is the reframe that I eventually came to, that provided me sales, and I made my work better, because I was no longer thinking about this scarcity and the poor me, and my work wasn't, I was working really late, and this is such a grind, and starving artist and all that. It's spacious. It's incredible to be able to do this. It's super easy sometimes. It's scary in a good way. It's like being in love. It can be that good. letting go, learning how to let go and open. Belief, reinstating your belief in what's possible, right? Like it's a miracle that you can do this, and that sometimes you make things that haven't existed before. And it's so cool. It like restores your faith. Being really loud, being really bold, being really quiet, expressing all sides of yourself. And then just generally the state of wonder that you can be like a 7-year-old just in front of this, like it's a miracle, and seeing the color and the interactions. So these two frames, right? Like, and I'm just talking about, it's not like you can't have these thoughts. I mean, you have as many as you want, but in particular, when you're making your work, if you can stay in this camp, the work it's so much better. This point here, this secondary point here, this negativity, no one really cares about this. It doesn't serve you, and it doesn't make great art. It just doesn't work. It doesn't help at all. It actually really slows you down totally. It slows the whole process down. The learning stops, the difficult, like it's just so many dead ends over here. And the third point here is that these two frames, there's this great thing they call like cowboy wisdom, where if your horse is dead, you want to get off it. And you literally can decide to not think this way and to think this way. This is dead. This doesn't do it. This doesn't serve anything. If you're seriously trying to do this, none of this helps. And it's a short time you don't have to think about it. It's just when you're making your work. You can stop it and you can just get off that train and you can stand over here, and this can become your habit. And this makes really amazing art, and it does it faster, more efficiently. It's more authentic, it's different, and it's sustainable, which is super, super cool, because that's the name of the game, is how do you keep doing this in a joyful way that, there's always struggle, but it's like, this makes it possible. You're actually like restoring yourself by the process of making art. Anyway, that's what I've been talking to a lot of people about this week and thinking a lot about it. And I just got these lists going, and I'm sure for you there's different ones. This isn't like the Uber list, but I'd love to hear your comments. What works for you? How do you frame things, positively, and what are the limiting beliefs and the challenges and the negatives that really hold you back? So I'd love to hear your comments about that. Hope your Sunday's really awesome. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.